More than 50% of the population in the United States have issues with attachment, and that means how it is that they form emotional bonds with other people. And this is so important because it impacts our relationships with our romantic partners, our friends, our colleagues, and of course, our relationship to ourselves and self-esteem. So my name is Bev. I created this channel to talk all things about attachment styles and how it impacts us throughout our life and our different life cycles. If this is something that is of interest to you, please give us a like, subscribe, and share it with your friends if you think it's worth sharing. Let's dive in. The anxious, preoccupied folks are generally the most sexually compliant. Again, they will do anything that their partner asks them to do because they don't want to speak up. Their boundaries are quite poor, and they don't want to upset their partner or risk their partner leaving. And so when we talk about sexual compliance, they are more likely to engage in some activities that would be considered risky, like, for example, unprotected sex.
Okay.
Right? So it's like, you don't have a condom. Oh, it's okay. It's fine. We'll just do it without.
Yeah.
Whereas other people would be like, guess we're not having sex tonight. Right? Yeah. So we do see that it's the heavy people pleasing side.
Okay. Got it.
And they can also use sex as a means to try to repair a relationship. So if there's distress in the relationship, they could use sex as sort of a way. And sometimes that is a little manipulative.
Okay.
And so we do see that pattern as well.
Okay. Let's talk about the avoidant man and what's great sex means to an avoidant.
Okay, so avoidants are a different ball of wax. Okay, they're heavily self-reliant, and their biggest threat is other people. Right, so they generally have trust in themselves, but not others. Being vulnerable is very difficult for them. Right, so these folks, when they engage in sex, it's not generally for the intent of having an emotional bonding experience. It's generally physical.
Okay.
It's a release, right? Okay. So all of the things surrounding, the emotional part, like, the lovey-dovey talk, the pillow talk, making breakfast the next morning, these are not generally things that an avoidant would do. You will have generally an avoidant's absolute, presence during the act.
Okay.
In fact, a lot of avoidants are quite performative. Right? Okay. So the dismissive avoidants, they're really focused on the act. And in a way, how can we do this so that I don't have to be vulnerable? Right. And so we see this play out in a lot of interesting ways. Their boundaries are pretty fixed. They'll tell you up front, I'll do this, I won't do this, don't cross my boundary. And we know that avoidants are generally very good because they're sort of protecting that armor around them. When I was talking about that they can actually be quite performative, I've spoken to many anxious people that talk about their sexual experiences with a dismissive avoidant, and they talk about it like it is the best sex they've ever had.
The anxious person says that.
Yes. And that's because someone who's dismissive avoidant is very good at compartmentalizing. They could give you the experience of a lifetime, and then when it's done, it's done.
Okay.
So they're quite performative. And for them, what it is it's an exchange. It's a fair exchange of dopamine. Okay. I'm going to do this for you and make you feel really good. And you're going to do this for me and make me feel really good. And it's fair and it's even. Right? Okay. It's about the physical release. Okay. Avoidants are very good at getting their needs met.
Okay.
Whereas anxious people, less so. Right? They're less aware of their own needs. But dismissive avoidants know these are my needs and this is what I need. And so if I give my partner XYZ and it's the time of her life, she will come back and so I'll get my needs met again.
Okay.
So it's a strategy, right? It's sort of like, and it really depends, right? There's variance within these categories. Some people are manipulative and some aren't. So this is not going to surprise you. The dismissive avoidant generally really likes a situation by which there's a no strings attached type of scenario involving sex.
Oh, yeah.
So we know that those who are far along on the dismissive avoidant side, that they're very open, accepting of casual sex arrangements. They typically have more partners. No strings attached is something that works really well for them. Right?
Is it because they're detached?
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And because it's a physical act, right? So they don't really want to get emotionally bonded to someone because then they feel too vulnerable. So they're very good at compartmentalizing and keeping, like, they're not the ones who are confusing sex with love. Okay. Sex is sex. Love is a whole other thing, right? And what we do find too is that sometimes those that are highly avoidant, again, highly self-reliant,
yeah,
they may choose to just go at it alone, like masturbation, pornography. This works really well for them, right? Okay. So we call this solo sex. It's easier for them. They don't have to engage with anyone else. They don't have to worry about someone else's comfort or their feelings or their emotions. And so we see that oftentimes this is the preferred route as well.
Interesting.
Okay. Isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a reaction to that just because on some level we have such a population of singles anyway. In other words, we probably have more people who are single than coupled, at least here in the United States. So to some degree, there's a lot of just single people, whether they're anxious, avoidant, or secure. They're experiencing solo sex anyway. So I was just having a thought.
Yeah, but what I'm referencing is that an avoidant who's in a long-term relationship, because avoidants do get into relationships, it takes them a long time to sort of build that trust. But even if they do have a partnership, they may opt for solo sex over partnered sex, even if it's available to them. Especially if there's emotional distress in the relationship. So if there's emotional distress in the relationship, the anxious partner will want to use sex to bond and get closer, and the avoidant partner will shut down the sexual desire and move towards more of a solo pattern.
Got it.